For me no kasa the obesosi the John Dramani Mama oko NDC amani okonuma how na Idris na beto abonsi se olidi na Julius Debra astarte work ne de kika won so on so person opportunity any Johnson Esiodun Katia thank you to just NDC amani okon bebe na anti asesa dada afi na oye thank you to na Dr. Tony Edu ene nsemi bia beto abonsi efa NDC for master tipe sɛ ɔmo twe ɔmo ti sɛ ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo tu frank and ma NDC amani okuo no ɔde nsɛm abɛto abɔnten sɛ abusuafo ɛnyɛ asɛm kuta mɛmpɛ sɛ mɛka ne nsɛm a ɔka na akyea no no mo kama ho yɛnkotie nsɛm no mu ɛnkyɛ mu subscribe to my channel like na ɛfo adwenkyɛ gu comment section kama yɛkɔba deɛ ɛka ho bia mbɛbrɛ
mo for. But this evening I was listening to radio and I got a sense of what he's doing. He has a case and I'm going to put the case before you viewers. Now, the case that is being made for Johnson Asiedun Ketia's thank you tour stems from the NDC strategy of 2024. The story is that whereas the president, John Dramani Mahama, and the vice president, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, concentrated on winning votes for the presidential election, there was another team led by the party chairman, Johnson Asiedun Ketia, that was concentrating on winning many parliamentary seats. The context of this narrative is driving towards the conclusion that Johnson Asiedun Ketia was responsible for the NDC super two-thirds majority that they have in parliament today, making him a major stakeholder in the future leadership of the party. Those who criticize Asiedun Ketia say that he is doing this because he wants to take a lead and win a start in the presidential succession race, which he can see that is now getting very tough. It's getting very tough because pollster Musa Dankwa has pulled up a post that does not have Asiedun Ketia leading. It has Idris Haruna, who has actually not said anything publicly about becoming the NDC's leader. It has Idris Haruna leading. It has Asiedun Ketia in a close second. It has Keselato Forsen, finance minister, in a close third. And it has Julius Debra in fourth position. That's what Musa Dankwa's survey brought up. It didn't have Eric Opoku in one of the leading areas because even though we know that our Greek minister Eric Opoku is also eyeing the position. But is it not too early for people eyeing the position in the NDC to do this? It's very early and it's very dangerous. It's dangerous because, viewers, I do not believe that the framers of the 1992 Constitution wanted us to go in this cycle. What cycle am I talking about? There's a cycle in the constitutional development where the president of the state, of the nation, would usually not be running because he has run his full term. He will usually not be running. So when the president is sworn in for his second term, you have the political party and the people who want to come after him juggle around for these things. We saw that in 1996, and J.J. Rawlings had to put a stop to it. In 1997, when Mr. Rawlings took the oath, it was obvious that Mr. Rawlings was not coming back to the position. The juggling started. Guzitano and co started preparing themselves to become the presidential candidates of the NDC. The people around Professor Mills convinced Fly Lieutenant Rawlings that in 1998, he stated it clearly that the inheritance belongs to the Vice President, Professor J.E.A. Mills. And that settled the matter because it was becoming unbecoming. People were getting concerned about the small pockets of campaigning groups that were being established in the ruling party. But that happens every other election cycle because usually you would have the president go in a second term. If John Mahama was running a second term, there will be no conversations like this. There will be nothing like that. Everyone will know that the president is running a second term. But here's a president who is in a first term like a second term. So whilst Ghana has changed over a president in 2024, we should have been changing over again in 2032. Because we would have had a president who is running 2 terms. He may or may not win, but at least he's running 2 terms. So there's focus on the government, there's focus on the economy, there's focus on work. If he loses, he loses. But he's running. So internally, you don't have people with this divisive kind of attitude. Now, we are saddled with a situation where we have elected a president who can do 1 term. So having changed in 2024, Ghana is going to change again in 2028. That means the winner of the 2024 election is not on the ballot for 2028. The winner of the 2020 election was not on the ballot for 2024. And it was hoped that this would be a double cycle, but now we have done it back to back. Certainly, Ghana is the loser. NDC may not be the loser because NDC can win the 2028 elections. But Ghana is the loser because there's very little focus on driving the agenda. And we have had very little focus on driving the agenda between 2020 and 2024. We went into an election. We come to 2025. We are still having very little focus on driving the agenda because those in power are seeking to become presidential candidates. And this time, they are doing it pretty early. Less than 1 year of the new government, and Johnson Asiedu Nketia is on the road. Julius Debra is on the road. Kesela Tuforsen is lacing his boots to hit the road. This is serious for the country, especially when you have the finance minister involved in the ambition. That's very serious. You have key important figures. Asiedu Nketia is the chairman of GAPOHA, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. That's something he should concentrate on. He's also the chairman of the ruling party. He sets out to go an agenda of thank you tour. And Ras Mubarak says that what is he thanking people for because he was not the candidate. These are some of the photographs from Asiedu Nketia's thank you tour. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. That's Johnson Asiedu Nketia, usually dressed in smock, talking to people in Eastern region and thanking them for voting for the NPP parliamentary candidates. That's what he's saying. He's not thanking them for voting for John Dramani Mahama. He's thanking them for voting for the NDC parliamentary candidates all across the nation. That's an enthusiastic supporter of Johnson Asiedu Nketia and the NDC. And all of them in there checking it out. There he is. Asiedu Nketia enjoying embrace and hugs and all of that. You know, you have to love Asiedu Nketia in terms of his politics. There they are. The Green Army. There they are. So this is the danger of what is happening. This really is a very, very dangerous matter. And it's a danger of what is happening. It is so dangerous that people have even put up Asiedu Nketia's video, which is an old video, which he did when he was running for chairman. They've put it up and presented it as something that he started doing just now. But that's how the NDC is divided. Ras Mubarak says you can't do that. Other people say, what's Asiedu Nketia doing? Why is he panicking? Other people say, but Julius Debra is doing it. Finance minister will start rolling out his campaign strategy. Finance minister is the one paying everybody. So it's very likely to have people falling in line according to what he wants them to do in furtherance of his ambition. That's very serious for the country. Are we going to have a government that is running the country until the election year, when we get into election, or are we starting the election today? The New Patriotic Party, the opposition, they are electing their candidates in January. As soon as that candidate is elected, he's going to go full throttle on politics. And the NDC would have to respond to that. Are they going to respond as Asiedu Nketia's team, Julius Debra's team, Kesela Tuforsen's team? Somebody must bring something to order. Somebody must bring something to order. Otherwise, we are going to struggle as a country. NDCs will not struggle, but Ghana will struggle because you have done it in 2024. You're doing it again in 2028 where the government is not concentrating because people are pursuing their own ambition. Self-preservation is the first for every human being. So if I'm a minister and I have to have meetings, but the constituency chairman in Jomoro is calling me, and that's where my vote is, I'd rather go there than have the meeting. And that can jeopardize the development, all this big push and all the fantastic things that President Mahama is announcing. He needs all of these people to come together to work. Are they going to be there to work, or are they seeking for delegates' votes? This is very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. And we have to check it and look at it. Now, listen to Dr. Tony, who says he doesn't even want to be around to look at the succession of President Mahama. We really don't know why Tony said that. Is he saying that it's so ugly he doesn't want to be interested? Is he disappointed with the caliber of people who are running? Is he disappointed with the process? But an NDC stalwart, as powerful as Joseph Anthony Edu, former Minister for Defense, says that I'm not interested. I was so sad when I saw the video. Have a look at it.
Whoever is planning to take over from Mahama, a great deal depends upon the outcome of the Mahama administration. If it does well, it inures to the party. And therefore, it creates a wind on which the potential or the prospective person can ride. But I don't know. I don't want to be here. Maybe by the time it comes to that point, I will be gone.
You don't want to see what will happen to the party next?
No.
You don't want to be around to see?
I don't want to.